we have today for growing our businesses, our brands, and our influence overall. In fact, video marketing consultant Mark Robertson said this quote, and I love it. Online video is the Swiss Army knife of internet marketing. It really can be used all over the customer lifecycle, whether it's customer service, marketing, or even recruitment. And so in this video, we have a couple power tips from some of today's top entrepreneurs about how they used video to grow their businesses. Let's check it out.
So I started online business back in 2007, started an online custom clothier, and I had to figure out how to get business to my little website in the corner of the web. And so I started creating content. I had a guy, Brett McKay at the Art of Manliness, find me in 2008 and say, hey, Antonio, I love your stuff. Can you come write for me? So tip right there is get really good at what you're doing and create. Now, I didn't have a fashion degree. I had just gotten out of Texas with an MBA, so I kind of understood business, but I really had to be self-taught. So I realized that there was a lack of information on the web when it came to men's style concerning custom suits. So I went out there, bought all the books I could, read, and the way that I learn is I write things out and I type things out. So I put my notes online within my website. We started getting, I think we got about 100,000 people a month. Uniques right to my little website. I'm like, what's going on? We're not really selling suits at this point. So I think I realized I can actually, I'm a pretty good writer. I got a lot better once I wrote about 100 articles. I could put out good detailed information and I shared my journey of growth, but that kind of positioned me as an expert. And I started off with that written word. Then we started doing infographics. In 2012, created Real Men, Real Style because I saw what Brett was doing at the Art of Manliness. I said, okay, I need to be able to do this here. And I thought, what could separate me from all the other men's style blogs out there? And video for me was relatively light. So I realized, okay, I'll do video. I can talk. I have the gift of gab. And I already knew the content because I'd written, hundreds of articles already at this point. So I knew the content and I just delivered it in a different way. And we got into YouTube in 2012, kind of got serious, I think in about 2014. And just in the last 6 months have just really shot up. We went from like 700,000 subs to 1.3 million very quickly. But, and people see those numbers, but what they don't see is that my first, I did 200 videos in 200 days, and they were just, I was just cranking out information, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, the basement of my house with a black background. And I didn't realize, they weren't great videos. I had no images or anything. My wife, we would cut the end, cut the beginning, and I would do it all in one take, and these were 10-minute videos. But because I knew the content, because I was enthusiastic about it, people could feel the energy about something that a lot of people don't normally feel energy about. And that's what kind of put us on the map. But those first 200 videos got me 1 million views. Like you said, now we're, we've maybe made 600 more videos and those got me 99 million more views. So you see, it's like a snowball and it just gets bigger and bigger. And I think the key for people just starting off is to know that you're satisfying a demand, that you have customers willing to pay. And when you know that, then you can put in the time and effort to build the core of that snowball. But make sure that you've got measuring points along the way. Because if you have to be honest with yourself and don't, if you keep hitting your head against a solid brick wall, your head will eventually give in. But if you realize that, I can actually, I've got a hammer and I can keep hitting it, you will get through that wall. So make sure you're hitting it with the right thing and you're going in the right direction. And so you want to have measurable, like with my clothier, I shut that down in 2012. And that's why I was able to give YouTube a go. And I knew to shut down that clothier because I was looking at metrics of my competitors and how much money they were making. And I realized I just didn't have the money to invest in creating higher conversions. I didn't own my back and my clothing, my tailor shops. So I realized, okay, I need to fold up and focus in on what's winning, what's working for me, which was content creation on YouTube.
Gary Vaynerchuk, for those of you that might not know, started on Wine Library TV as a YouTuber, helped build his family's business from 3 to 60 million. As if that wasn't enough, started VaynerMedia, which that's where we're at right now, and is a New York Times best-selling author, just wrote his 4th book, Ask Gary Vee. Go check it out, and great speaker. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. YouTube and Twitter changed my life. I'm so pumped that so many people followed my book and became huge YouTubers.
Yeah,
I mean, it's mainly about YouTube and Twitter.
Yeah.
But I don't take credit for it because my actions moved away from it.
Well, you know, you should take credit for the hustle because you came back and your name is huge, and maybe even more so in a specific, I want to say niche, but really in an industry, right?
Yes.
Digital marketing,
yes.
online media, social media.
That's
Can you
right.
talk about that? Because, you know, one thing that people get hung up on are subscribers and views, right?
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong, your subscribers are really amazing. You got great fans.
Oh, but where you're going, and I'll get right to the punchline.
Yep.
I don't. First of all, I'm not even sure how many subscribers on YouTube I have, but my intuition is it's under 200,000. I know that to be fact. So I built my brand as a thought leader, as an executor, as an investor in this digital arena, and even though I have 1.2 million followers on Twitter and I have some nice size following on other places, none of my following count is even remotely close to the financial impact that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get paid millions of dollars in advances to write books. This company is $100 million a year business.
Yep.
It's helped grow my family wine business. There's a bunch of wine here, by leaps and bounds. And so you're right. And I know that a lot of you make ad revenue, and lots, 7 figures on ad revenue from YouTube, other things of that nature. But I've gone down the path of having influence on the cover of business magazines, television. It's truly 360.
Yep, yep.
I've made my money not by the arbitrage of the ad revenue or some of the product placements. I've gone about it by going out and building businesses on the platform. So most of my behavior, for example, I know I'm bouncing here a little bit, that's how I roll, guys.
Do it.
If I was worried about subscribers, I would spend a year going and doing collaborations.
Yep.
I have permission because of my relationships, and I have a lot of them. I could easily get to. I spend time with YouTube. I spend time with Google and Facebook, and I'm not worried about that. Though I don't say that you don't have to. It's the path I chose. But I do think that when you think bigger and not just the next subscriber or the next product placement or how much ad revenue, you do open up your opportunity to much bigger things. If you've got the capabilities like I had as a business person, for some people, what your capability is being a creative. Mm-hmm. And I do think the ecosystem of YouTube and other platforms is great for those people because they're doing the business sense thing that let's say I do as a businessman.
Absolutely. And I think the one thing that my wife, Judy, and myself learned the most from you is about engagement, the community. So can you talk about that? Because regardless of all that, it's how close your fans feel to you, and tell us about that and why.
Depth versus width. I sold 100,000 copies of my book the first week. There's a lot of people that came out with bigger audiences, bigger stars, and they didn't because people actually care about me. As you know, and I talked a lot about in Crush It, and I followed up a book 2 years later called The Thank You Economy. I don't think there's anything else besides the people on the other side of these cameras.
Yeah.
If they care about you, then you win.
Hi guys, good morning.
Hey, welcome back, you
Welcome back.
guys. Welcome to another episode of Just Langga Podcast with us Popcorners. How we doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I'm excited. I think this whole entire for the next few months,
Yeah.
I think we did something quite great because we kind of like scheduled out a whole entire list of speakers already, right?
Yeah, so we've actually got our act together. We've scheduled like 3 speakers already, and we're working on our next batch of speakers. So definitely getting amazing people to come your way. So
Yeah.
it's all about video, right? Amin?
It's interesting that the next three shows is all about video. I'm like,
Yep.
cool, right? It's like this is like just adjusting things and it just happened.
It just arranges itself that way until I came out with that promo video. Then only we figured it out lah. That it's all about
Yeah,
video,
it's like
right?
after you
Okay.
did that, then
So if
shit,
you
it's video.
know, video is one of the biggest trends in marketing. 80% of social media traffic is actually for video.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, and today's topic is especially meaningful for us at PopCon because if you have been following us or if you know us for any length of time, one of our favorite things to talk about to the point of obsession really is content, right?
Yep, exactly.
And in fact, if you are a business trying to not just survive but thrive in this really challenging economic landscape, one of the best things you can do is content, and that is what sets you apart from your competitor. Would you agree that, Amit?
I agree with this one statement that I always uphold. Content is king. That's what it is. Okay,
Content is king.
you can hack things up in your social media platform and all that, but at the end of the day, it's your content that matters.
Right, okay. And we've got some amazing background noise. That's not a baby, that's a cat, right?
Okay, that's your cat, right?
No, I don't have a cat. I think it's Sujimi's cat.
Okay.
Which is why we're so excited today, not because of Sujimi's cat, but because of Sujimy.
Yep.
He is, I would actually call him the godfather of content, right?
Yep.
He's known as a Facebook influencer. He's also a content creator. And more importantly, he's a business influencer. And he's an entrepreneur, like you guys. And I would say he's a business influencer in this region, right? I mean,
Exactly. I've always get inspired by the story of how he got started. In fact, he's not just the godfather. He created more influencers at the same time as well.
wow.
Right.
So,
That's like
okay.
so it's like he's like Don lah. He's like the Don
He's like Don.
who creates more.
Okay,
Yeah.
And what's amazing about Sujimy is that, he's an influencer from Singapore and he's really huge in the Malay market in the region, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And one of the things that you mentioned earlier that's so amazing about him is even his mother is an influencer.
Yeah, one of the oldest influencer that I know.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about it. Right?
That's a compliment, I mean.
hey,
Not sound like one.
so it's a role model. Okay, so it says that anyone can do this. Okay,
Right,
age is
exactly.
not a factor.
And just to share with you, she's got 3 sponsors. I think her video on cooking with the sponsor Santan is being shown across all malls in Singapore.
Exactly.
And she's even got Cots Mammoth to renovate a kitchen. Okay? And my friend, who's a Chinese, followed her. Okay?
All the way in Cambodia, some more, right?
Yeah, all the way
Alright,
to
all the way
Cambodia,
in
just to let you know. A shout out to Honey if you're listening.
Yep.
Now, today we are talking about why every company should be... What was that?
It's not my background. Sujimy, it's okay. Guys, our show is like that, okay?
Okay.
Kadang-kadang
I thought
tukar
it was
potong rambut, potong rumput will come and all that. Just be okay with it, okay?
Okay.
This
So
is part of the
anyway,
video.
so today's topic is why every company should be a content creator before it's too late. So are you guys ready for another exciting episode from PopCon? Because if you are, strap right in for the ride, people. I'm in, cue the intro video.
And here we go. Okay, we're back. All right.
All right, so welcome back, PopConners. I am Nina.
I'm Amin.
And welcome to PopCon's Just Langga podcast. Now today we are talking about why every company should be a content creator before it's too late. Your content is the core of your brand, and when you do it nicely, it has the potential to connect you to your target audience and is a surefire way to increase the traffic organically without even depending on ads, right? I mean,
Exactly. And I love content, man. I spend a lot of time in Facebook and YouTube just like looking into good contents and all that.
yeah. So in other words, he's a stalker, but but we consume content like nobody's business. Okay. Now, one of the thing about content, why it does so well, is because it takes your visitors, your future customers on a journey of who you are, what you are offering, and how you can help them. And this is especially important because people do not buy from brands and logos. People buy from people, right?
Yep, that's something that we've always promoted.
Okay, so our guest today is none other than Sujini Muhammad, probably one of the most famous influencers in the region right now, right? I mean,
Yep, he's like our mentor lah. We've always Abang Sujimy for me is like someone that kind of like is the catalyst behind where PopCon is at this moment.
Yes. One of the first few things we did was to actually do a vlogging workshop with him.
Yeah.
Before bringing it to KL for everybody to benefit from. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit of background about Sujini. He's a 30-year veteran in Singapore's media industry. He went from traditional TV to social media stardom. Now, not a lot of people, I can say, can transition to social media successfully. He's a social media influencer with more than 246,000 followers on his Facebook page. I think probably more now. He's recognized for his vlogs that feature human interest story with social messaging, and his vlogs are widely followed with viewership ratings ranging from 500,000 to 3.2 million and clinching an average online reach of 3 million people for a small country. That's amazing, right?
Exactly.
So from this success as a social media influencer, Sujimi has went on to migrate his traditional media company into a full-fledged social media content agency. So, Sujimi, welcome. Welcome to Just Langkah.
Sujimy. Assalamualaikum.
Hi. Hi,
Hey, do we have
everyone.
an applause for Sujimi?
Okay, of course. I have a different one. I have a different sound, right? I'm gonna use this one.
Oh, that's a new one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I miss you guys lah. We were talking behind the scenes, and I miss going to KL, right? And meeting you guys, and then just talk about content. That's what we do, right? I remember the first time I meet you guys, and then I think we were hanging out in one of the coffee shop. I think.
Yeah.
That's when I met. I met Amin first because he came to Singapore and took the vlogging workshop, and then he introduced me to you. And I just want to say that you guys are doing a fantastic job of trying to pull in all the influencers and content creators, and keep doing it. Now, everyone should support this group.
Oh, thank you. Coming from you, so touched. Okay, let me see if I can see the question.
Stay focused. Go back.
Okay, wait, before that, seriously, Sujimi, that's like better than an Oscar award, man. Seriously, you know.
Really?
Yeah, like for it to come from you, it's like, berbaloi lah, all this work. You don't get paid, right? But
Right. So before we begin, I just want to for those newcomers that come in, I just want to introduce what my role is. I'm like basically the technical guy behind the scene, right?
If there's anything wrong, it's usually Amin's fault.
Yeah, I admit that. Okay, we are a lean startup company, so we are learning as we go, right? So what we will appreciate is that if you guys have any questions, right? Anything that you want to ask Sujimy, this is the time to do it. Please put it in the comment section. We will definitely find a way to look into that. I just want to say hi to a few people right now. Say Layo, good morning. Hi Layo.
Hi Layo.
All right. Ben, good to see you again, brother. All right. Liz, it's good to see you. Sheldon, always pleasure to have you around.
Sheldon's
right?
in the house. Thank you.
Okay. Yus is here, right? Yus is also,
Yus,
okay.
do you remember Yus from your last workshop?
Yeah, she's been vlogging.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Thanks to you.
Done.
Thanks to
Well
you.
done.
Thanks to you.
Happy to hear that.
So Sujimi is like, you know how Tengku is like bapa kemerdekaan? Sujimi is like bapa keblogan.
Vlog.
Oh my
Like
God.
that.
You guys call me godfather and all that. I macam malu lah, segan sangat. Really.
But you are, kind of thing. Thank you so much.
Are you okay? I mean,
I'm okay.
I mean, you need tersedak sebab nak tergelak ke apa ni?
I had to gelak just now. Somebody just sent a message. So I'm like, okay. Sorry about that, guys.
What did they say?
You're the man. That's it. I got it with my WhatsApp, so that I'm not gonna share
There
that.
you go.
Yeah.
See, you are the man. So bapa godfather lah, bapa kevlogan lah.
Yeah.
So you are it, Sujimi.
Okay,
Alright.
let's go back. Let's get back to this.
And if you're gonna go into LinkedIn, one of the things that we encourage our students is it pays to perasan. So on
that's
LinkedIn,
something I want to learn from you guys, because I know you guys are killing it in LinkedIn. I've not created content specifically for LinkedIn. I've done it on Facebook, YouTube, my Instagram, and Twitter. But no, I mean, I'm not very active on LinkedIn. I need to learn that from you guys.
I think with LinkedIn, you just need to be active, and with your kind of content, you'll go really well.
Really well, yeah.
The only difference is, I believe that each social media platform has their own like personality as well as content pillar, if you like it. So Facebook are human stories do well. You can share about anything kind of thing. With TikTok, fun is the main thing, right? Fun, creativity. So if you're creating content about business, it has to be fun. It has to hit that fun and creativity aspect of it. With LinkedIn, it's about people who want to be professional and they want to network with each other. So you to learn from each other. So your content has to be something where people can learn. That's one of the pillars, lah.
Yeah.
So are you saying it's like the beginning days of YouTube where they started doing how-tos first? You know, YouTube was very popular. I mean, until today, how-to videos are the ones that people go to. Even if you are starting out as an influencer, if you do how-to videos first, that's how you get discovered. Is that what LinkedIn to the business world is?
LinkedIn is where so 30% of people are there to find a job. The other 70% are there to network and learn from each other. So if you are creating stuff where you even if with a post and a gamba, that is good enough for you to get a lot of views. Like one of our students had 10,000 views in just one class.
Yeah.
And she posted about how she was working with his lawyer and how he had passed on and what she learned from him by working with him.
Yeah, I think
So,
the organic
which is what
reach.
you're really good at, Sujimi. So content that's really touching.
Okay, I need to be. You are right. I need to be active
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, and I will try it out. I will try it.
Okay. But I think you're doing well on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that one
cannot
do.
handle all the, kind of thing.
Actually, talking about that, before we start, I just maybe I want to set the context also at the same time as well. I saw this one article and post in the Singapore Times. I don't know. Do you want to talk about that first, or you want to go straight to the?
Wait, let's find out about Sujimi.
Let's do that. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I like to jump guns, right?
Let's give our audience a little bit of context for those of you who do not know why he's the godfather. Let me share with you.
Okay.
Let him share with you. So Sujimi, can you share with us a little bit about how you became, before you were the godfather of, Facebook influencing? What were you doing and why did you decide to go on Facebook? What was the plan?
Okay, long time ago when I was 16 years old, I started in radio. My life was a radio journey, and then I went to TV. I'm a newscaster. Then I became a journalist. I did a lot of documentaries, set up my company. So I live and breathe media, and it was traditional media. Long story short, after doing television shows for 15 years, it became necessary for us to migrate because we were losing business in the television business. Traditional media got hit so much, so I had to survive, So for 1 year, I didn't even have any projects,
Oh, wow.
And I asked my wife, I said that we have to do something lah, if not our business will go down. And at that time I wasn't I didn't have any content on social media. So zero content. I tried, I set up a page in 2009. I set up a Facebook page and I had 2,000 followers immediately because people knew me from
traditional
right?
media.
But so I tried motivating, I tried uploading pictures. Orang tak layan lah because it wasn't gaining traction at all. Then I said, later on, many years later, while I was talking to my wife, and then my mom validated, he said that, why don't you just start doing videos, right? I was telling myself, this is what you're good at, right? So you were doing videos. So among my very first few videos, I vlogged, I talked to myself, I talked to the camera, talk about life. Pun tak ada orang layan because I got 300 views.
Okay.
And then finally I was talking to my mom, and because she was giving me advice every single day when I call her. And then I said, Ma, boleh tak I record this session that you do with me every single time I come to your home? Then, of course, she didn't know what that is. So I was recording it and I uploaded that. And that exploded in Facebook. It just exploded, yeah.
Let me get this straight. So the original influencer is not you. It's actually your mom.
It's my mom, yeah. All credits go to my mom because she put me on the map. Her advice, she didn't hold back. If I'm not doing something good, she will tell me off, right?
Oh, okay.
And when I'm doing something right, she will say it too. So I recorded this advice that she was telling me about rezeki lah. You know, don't be afraid about when you lose, when you have one door closed, don't be afraid, there's another door open. She started telling me this and everybody on Facebook saw that. And they were signaling to me that they wanted this kind of content.
Right.
I continued that with her. While doing that content pillar with her, then I tell myself, why don't I do something that I've done on traditional media, where I interview people and their life stories. So that's when I started lah. So when I go to Malaysia, I met a guy, a taxi driver, and he was telling me something very interesting. And I told him, can I record this? And he allowed me, and that one went to 3 million views.
Wow. Okay.
From 300 views to 3 million views, there's a lot of learning lesson there, you know.
Okay.
So I started jotting it down like a manual for me. What works, what didn't work, what format works, the duration and all that. So I tried out, it became a format. From one content pillar, it grew to 5 content pillar. And then I started having a content calendar. And I became very disciplined when it comes to churning content every week, non-stop. And that actually grew the numbers. And people were giving me feedback saying that this content works, you know, you should do more of this sort. And I did a lot more content with my mom. Her content gave me Malaysian audience because Malaysian and Singapore audience, including I think Brunei at the time, because food content across borders lah, everybody can relate to it. So, and her content brought in sponsors.
Right. So when you talk about content pillar, what does that mean? Because we understand it because we went to your class, but people out there might not understand. What do you mean by content pillar?
Okay, so any company who wants to start doing content, even before you open up your platform, whether it's page or podcast, you need to decide for yourself, what is it that you are trying to contribute to the community or to the users, right? And open yourself to content direction that are not only for your audience, meaning don't restrict yourself to your customers. Tell yourself, hey, how can I add value to the community? So when I first started, I felt that family-oriented content was my number one content pillar. So I started talk to my kids about life, you know, talk to them about my life journey, and then I talk to other people about their life journey. So that's one content pillar. Content pillar is what drives your page, and it brands your personality in the market, you know, so much so a personal brand that managed to also contribute to your business brand.
Right.
You
Okay.
know? So in the beginning, I was doing personal branding because I did all the content that require people to understand who I am. And then slowly people understood it as this guy can actually do content for other people. So I just want to clarify influencer term that we always use, right? So social media influencer, they can do content for their page and they are strong in that domain, and therefore their page grow, right? But you need to, if you want to do a business, you need to be able to do content for other platform as well. So that's the difference. So if you are an influencer just for your domain, you're going to be very strong, but you need to learn how to do content for other pages as well, other client as well. So that made you become highly demanded for other platform as well. So there are many contents that I make, but it's not for me. It's for other people.
But you do it as your brand, Sujimy, or you do it for those companies?
Yeah, sometimes when client wants me to do it for them, but on my page, I will skew it to be part of my content pillar. So, for example, I have a content pillar called Real People, Real Stories. So if it fits a certain client, for example, a beverage company, I've done one for Poca, and where I put very interesting people together in one story. They put the association to that video.
Right.
So, but it's on my page. But I've done content where it goes into their page. I didn't appear in that video, but it's all for their page. So you need to know how to slant towards their content pillar. So if you want to start something, decide what content pillar first. What is it that you want to offer to audience? Because the ultimate aim is not only to engage with your audience, is to convert your audience into supporters.
I see. Okay.
Because once they are supporting you, whatever you are doing, they are the ones who are helping your messaging across the entire social media world. Because they believe in you. They believe in what you do.
So basically, when we're creating content, we're not trying to get them to buy from us. We're trying to get them to be our fans. That's what we should be thinking of, right?
Supporters.
Supporters.
If they are your fans, right, they like what you do, but will they support you when you start to do business? For example, I didn't do e-commerce. Today I do e-commerce. You all know I got kedaisujimy.com.
Yes,
right?
which we want to talk about in a bit, yeah?
Yeah, so I started that in January. It is a marketplace, not only for me. Anyone can sell anything there. So I didn't start it first because I don't think there will be enough support, and I don't have enough reach. So now that I'm clocking about 3 million people reach in a month, so every time I launch a product, people see that this is also a family product. It fits one of my content pillar. It falls in nicely, and I'm providing a service. You see, so when you have when you have followers who become your true fans, and the true fans become supporter, and then it will support your business.
Wow. Okay. Got it. Okay, Sujimy, so now that you're like an influencer, and you've got all these amazing views, how does this support your business? And actually, the other question I would ask is, were you an entrepreneur first? And that kind of, and the social media influencing helped your business? Or did you then go into business after becoming famous?
Oh no, I've been a content creator since day one of my business. Okay. My company, we started as an advertising agency. So we are creating content for other people, and we are creating, whether it's from TV, radio. And then I realized that in the social media world, you need to be visible, right? So instead of creating content for others, why don't we create content for ourselves? And I needed to be an influencer. It was survival mode for me.
Right, okay.
And through my platform, we get mainstream clients who wanted to reach to my audience. Because I created a critical mass for my platforms. So I have a certain set of audience. So they wanted to reach out to my audience. So that became a business for me. So I switched from developing content for other people. I did it for my own audience. And it became a platform where sponsors now leverage on, so it became a business, and I must give it to all the people who follow me on my platform. They are the true movers for me. They are the ones who actually help me.
Okay.
If not, I cannot have this business,
Can I add to
without them.
I would like to add to that. I love the concept on how you talk about not focusing on selling, but really focusing on creating supporters.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's not social. Social media is not social you can say it's social selling, but that's not the first thing you should be doing. It should be social sharing of values and ethics and service. When you say service, meaning what do people need, and you give it to them.
Right. Okay.
And sometimes it's not for you. You know, for example, like I do share during the days when the mosques are closed in Singapore, right? So people cannot donate. Mosques are not getting donation because people don't go to the mosque, right? So I was thinking that how can I help the mosque? So what I did was I just list down all their donation numbers. And I asked people, why don't you add on to this list for me? So it was a social crowdfunding of some sort. So people were giving me all the most numbers and I just keep adding them. So I think we need to play our part when it comes to something like this, and don't think about yourself. When you have the numbers already, don't always think about yourself. Think about how you can really help others. So when home business, right now my key takeaway for myself, when home business person approach me, right, they need some help, right, I say just let me try your product and I will do it for free, because it will help this group of people. They don't have a voice, especially when they don't have a strong online voice, right? You need to help them. So sometimes once you hit a certain level where you can do something for the community, you need to come out and just do it.
Okay.
That will help.
Okay, got
I have a question on this. So, what would be your advice to business owners who needs to strike a balance between giving and also at the same time, I still have a
Selling.
business that I need to run,
Yeah.
that I need to still sell. So, kat mana nak cari the borderline tu? How do you what's your frame of mind on this?
Okay, that's a fantastic question, because when you are running a business, you need to survive first. You need to survive first. But so you need to survive with or without social media. That one is a fundamental of business lah. So you need to get into a business where you know your service will be essential to others, right? Now, when you get into social media, it will just amplify that, right? So the first thing that you need to do if you are setting up a platform, you need to be valuable to others first. Therefore, your content, whether or not it contributes to your business, should not matter first, because you need supporters first. So the algorithm of any social media is give, then you take, right? So I mean, simply put, that's not really the technical side of algorithm. So you need to give content first, give, then you can take the audience to help you in your business. So if you're doing an e-commerce business, you cannot first, if you just sell, people say, okay, I will buy from you, but I may not be loyal to you. So when I say give, meaning give your audience something that they truly want, and they will follow you, they will support you in whatever you're doing. I was giving content for free for a long time. So one of my friends said, Sujimy, why don't you try selling something? So I was so afraid, because I don't want people to think that I'm taking advantage of my wide reach, right? So I just tried, and true enough, I was selling this soap. Okay, it's called sugar soap. So I was afraid that people think I was trying to take advantage, but I needed to make, some support in e-commerce. So I made a video with me and my kid cleaning the wall. And true enough, when I launched that video on a Sunday, I got 1,000 orders.
Wow, 1,000?
That's a lot.
Soap. And one order is not like one soap, it's like 3 soap lah, I was so surprised, and I was so touched lah by people's support. Of course that product needs to be good in the first place, but I was pleasantly surprised at how people want to support you, because it's also a way, they are trying to find a way to show you their
Their
support,
appreciation.
their
Yeah.
appreciation. So some of them say, Sujimi, we are going to support you. You have been giving us content that inspire us. Now we want to support you. So they were very honest about it, and I was so pleasantly surprised. That gave me, encouragement to do e-commerce. And I have to give a shout out to Ali. He's from Janio. He was the first guy who told me, Sujimi, you need to sell something.
Wow. Okay.
So Said Ali Arida, he was the one who inspired me to open up Sujimy.com, and then I transited to KedaiSujimy.com. Then I met people like Zai, who is an e-commerce specialist. Zai is now with my company, so he's helping me full time to make sure our e-commerce is solid.
I see. Okay. So let's talk about that. So you started with an agency business doing content and stuff like that, and then you became a social media influencer, and that kind of brought in more revenues for you because you are also. I mean, can we bring in that Gamba, the Singapore one? Sujimi are considered a non-essential person.
Exactly. I would love to talk about
I have a
that.
lot to say about that, you know.
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Time.
Okay. So there's this one article
Let me
in the
see what
Straits
you
Times.
guys put up.
Okay, let me just put it out here. Let me just get rid of myself first, so that you guys can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So according to the stats, it
Social
says,
services, oh my god.
yeah. So people like us are basically the non-essential jobs. That's what it's being said, right?
Okay, so let's put this thing in context, right?
Yeah.
When Singapore went into circuit breaker, meaning operation stop and all that, we one of the companies who were whitelisted to be essential services. Now, essential services. So one of the things that we do as a company, we provide outreach service, meaning if an agency came to us, a company that required to give a public advisory, let's say about COVID, now what are the advisory right now? What can you do? What you can't do? We will take that advisory, we will repurpose it, whether it's in a video form, infographic form. We will then do our outreach. And it's not only outreach on my page. I have four other pages that are thematic. I have teetarik.sg, which currently has about 100,000 followers. It has about 1.7 million reach. Now, so we take this advisory and provide it to people who might not have seen this advisory on traditional media, right? So we became that outreach company. And when we applied for essential services, we were immediately approved. So I was very surprised to see these infographics, to say that social media companies like us are non-essential. In fact, I think a lot of companies like us, we are not the only one, are providing this essential service, because sometimes when there is a change in public advisory, right, we are among the first one to go live and tell people, look, this is something you can do and you can't do, and we were providing services like, I remember when the mosques were closed in Singapore, no one can go to the mosque, and the Islamic Council of Singapore could not, they were making I think a conference on it, but they could not go on traditional media, because I think there's a policy that you can't talk about religion in Singapore traditional media, right? So they had nowhere to go. So they went to our platform, so they chose our platform to disseminate the right information that the public require to know. So that is essential to me, kan? So I felt that I do not know how they come up with that infographics to say that social media companies are not essential. They probably have to go back to drawing board, and probably find out from other social media company . Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I guess a lot of people reacted in Singapore. I think Malaysians also reacted, right? I mean,
What do you all think? What do you all think of this?
Well, based on what I see, based on my experience as well, my top 4 job is there. I think Nina is all your top 5 is there. You were also
Yeah,
once an artist,
I'm
right?
completely unimportant, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I made a lot of difference this MCO. Okay, so
Yeah, but the
so
thing
it's
is,
like,
my comment for this is that I bet you these people who voted for the artist, all of them still go to Netflix or YouTube
yes,
to watch stuff during this whole lockdown. So
they were also online to watch all these live concerts.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
just
It's
to
Okay.
just
share,
yeah.
we were the lifeline for a lot of businesses because they did not know how to go online to start talking about their brand. They were reaching out to these people.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I would say it's essential. You just don't see it.
Yeah. By the way, just want
Yeah.
to highlight to those who are watching, siapa-siapa yang tengah tengok sekarang ni, and all that. If you do have any question that you want to ask to Sujimy, right? Please do put it in the comment section, right?
I
We would
have
love to
a
hear from you.
comment from my page. Geraldine Shin says, love what you're saying, that social media is not selling first.
Mhm.
Always keep on giving. I think a lot of marketeers and salespeople sell first, right? Sujini,
Yeah,
what's your advice?
It's not just that. Just to add to that, I think that's the struggle that our student is having.
Okay.
Yeah, even
Which is,
the mindset that they have is that I need to sell.
need to sell.
Yeah.
If you just need to sell, you must know that the ratio of selling needs to be 70 human interest, 30% selling, or even smaller. So if you're doing a video which the call to action is to sell something or to have someone adopt a certain call to action, right? You cannot have 70% selling in the video. It just doesn't work. No one will share that, right? But if you manage to do like 70 to 80% human interest, people will share that human interest portion, and hopefully this 20% call to action will be adopted by some of the people who share.
Yeah.
You cannot expect 100% audience will quickly adopt. They may not believe what you're selling, right?
Right, yeah.
But if they believe that your product or what you're selling brings benefit to others, they will genuinely share. That's the currency of social media, right?
Yeah.
People share because they believe in what you do, and they believe in the things that you are selling really benefited someone in their life. Yeah, so give attention to the 80% human interest message instead of greedy and going after, look, this is what I'm selling, this is really good, you need to have this thing. It just doesn't work anymore. That's why corporate video, television commercial are not going to work on social media unless you put it in a story.
Then I have a question for this. For the 70% that you are working with, right? So you are telling human interest story and all that. What would be a call to action that you have in those particular content? Right. I think there's always something that you want to get the audience to do after they watch you. Right? That's how I see it.
I think those who attended my class, I always quote 3 things that will make people share the video. One, to make things viral, you need logic, ethics, and you need emotion that sticks.
Oh, good one.
So the emotion part is the one that connects to someone, right? So even if the video is logical, it's ethical, but it's not emotional, it may not be shared.
Okay.
So you need to connect to people at emotion level. So when someone share because they truly feel for this video, right? What they write for your video is the one that will help you. You know, it's not just sharing. You know, sometimes people just share, right, without saying anything, right? So that's good. That's already very good. But when they share and then they add their own copy, and they are, helping you and pushing your cause, then you have made it.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of currency, that's just so valuable because to actually make somebody share is effort. To make them write their own copy, that takes time. So that one, I think you have reached there, lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like tahap kilobobs, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I guess this is which goes into my next question. Why does social media, or creating content for businesses, why does it work if you were to create content on social media? What's the secret that other people don't know?
First of all, if you want to be engaging, you need to engage first, right? You need to understand first. So that one, we must get it right. You cannot expect people to come to you if you are not engaging people. So first of all, you need to know that videos create reach. I think you talk about 80% people are sharing videos, is it? I think that's your figure. And it's proven already, even in Marketing Institute of Singapore, 70 to 80% people do not mind sharing a video of a brand if they find that the story works.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so the first thing they need to know is that consistency is the key to creating content. So and this is the hardest to commit.
Yes. Okay.
So if you're a company and you're just starting out to do videos or to do content, right? You need to know once you start, you cannot stop.
Okay.
That must be the behavior of any company. Because once you give something, you are attending to one group of people. And then when you pull back and you stop, right? These people, there isn't any predictability in your content creation. There won't be any loyalty.
Okay.
So that's one. Number two, choose and pick your battles. Pick your content creation, what you believe in. If your company believe in human connection, right? And you believe that this is the one that you want to pick, then choose your battle, choose your topic that would make people understand you more. Why are you going into this? For example, even in simple content like cooking, right? I chose traditional recipe because I really believe that traditional cooking is not widespread. So I want to help. I want to help my mom spread that traditional recipe.
And preserve the heritage, right?
Preserve the heritage. So, and I think there is a group of people who still want to learn, who love traditional recipe. So you are attending to this audience, and just my mom, I think you all shared this. She said, kalau nak share kan, kalau nak untung jangan takut rugi. You want profit, don't be afraid to make losses.
Right, I think so, yes.
And when you want to share everything, meaning don't hold back. If you are sharing a recipe, don't keep your secret sauce. That's not sharing, that's just like takut-takut, alamak, I think I cannot share everything. No, if you're a chef, you're a chef or a restaurant, don't be afraid of sharing every single thing, because there's genuine in that. No one, even if you share everything, right, no two person will cook the same way.
Betul.
Share everything, even her secret way of preparing and all that. She just do it because she believed that full disclosure, will help someone survive. Today a lot of her recipe is being used by people in Indonesia, Malaysia, and they say that, can we use it to run our business? My mom said, go ahead. If you manage to survive using my recipe, that's your risky. And she's not afraid about that because she's lived her life, man. And mashallah, that one helped them and helped her to bring sponsors and all that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but so more will come to it.
Yeah, if you believe in sharing risky, right? The risky will come back. I think that's what we are being taught, right?
Yeah.
Then your mom is the godmother of influencers.
That's why, don't call me godfather, call her godmother.
You're like a kid, right? Kind of thing.
I must tell you, I think I've spoken to you guys how she get her sponsors, right? So, can I share this with everyone?
Yes, I think it's a good way to share it.
The story about my mom getting sponsors is very amazing. I think after she cooked about maybe 40 to 50 videos, she started getting sponsors. So one by one approached her. So I have one company a coconut cream company who came to us, and they were from Jakarta. They flew down to see me, and they said that, Sujimy, we want to sponsor your mom. And then they said, do you want to sponsor their product? Then I said, it's not enough. I mean, my mom is going to work hard at it. You need to pay her. So they agreed. So they actually paid her for her videos. And when I told my mom said, why they pay? I don't understand why they pay. I said,
You asked your mom.
I don't know, my mom asked me, why they want to pay me? I'm just cooking, I said, tak apa, mak, just take the money. Because she wasn't asking for it. And then another company came. I think we have a Malaysian company who's kindly want her to use the ghee product. I think, the ghee product. So she cooked it, and I think her video is there in a lot of shopping malls in Singapore. I think you mentioned just now Courts came. When Courts came and see me, they said that, Sujimy, we want to renovate your mom's entire kitchen because we just love her cooking. So when I told that to my mom, dia terperanjat, dia cakap, she was so shocked and said, really, people want to help me to renovate my kitchen? Of course, she was very happy lah. And when I made that video about Courts renovating, that became viral. And ever since that, every time she cooked, people remember, hey, nice kitchen, So Courts get a lot of mention for my mom. And my mom always thank her sponsor one. She is very sponsor friendly now. She's not friendly last time, but she is heightened about whoever helped her. So every time, whether they pay or not this video, she will credit them. When someone say, hey, your kitchen is nice, she said, this one Courts yang bikin tau, diorang bikin this thing, and so she will always mention them. She really appreciate all the sponsors.
Okay.
Which is okay. One point I got from this is that listen to your mother, all right?
Yes.
No matter what, listen to your mother.
Sujimy's mom.
Listen to Sujima's mom. But number two, I'm so impressed with the idea that your mom is an influencer, because the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to influencer is that people always think of girls, bikini babes in Instagram or abang sado, but then it's the word influencer is like it's so big, right? You can become influencer in cooking, you can become influencer. In fact, I know this one influencer in YouTube, nama dia Cik Nom tau. And I've been following her cooking session during this whole MCO. And then I found out that one of her recipe was actually being used untuk buat kedai nasi ayam. So a lot of people actually took the kedai nasi ayam recipe from her, which is amazing, right? It's amazing.
So that's the thing. You are benefiting other businesses, and that's what you should do. When it comes to creating a platform, you want more people to support you. You have to be the first one to support others.
Okay.
So now it goes to the next question. If I were a business owner and I want to start, what would be my first step then?
Okay, so the first one is to really understand your audience. Who are the people that you're targeting, number one. But do not always think of just your audience, because your audience will be the easiest. The first adopters are the ones that are already converted, right? To you, they understood what you're doing. But you need to enlarge this audience by creating new content pillars. So let's say you are in technology, you are in financial technology or whatnot. So these are the group of people that are early adopters. They will follow you if your content are really good. But I want to convert people who may not be interested in finance, right? Because you want to enlarge your reach. So how do I reach out to them? So you have to create a one-on-one video for this group, because they need to buy into what you believe in, right? So create a separate content pillar for this group, because they are the non-converted. They want financial advice, but they don't know how to, right? So what are the kind of content that will appeal to this group? Because your first group, they already understood financial market and all that. So you need to the pitching for the content of this group is different. The pitching for the other group is different. So you have now two content pillars. You understood that this audience require this type, this audience require a different type. So the first thing is to really understand your audience. Second is to understand that you need to be a center of authority for your subject. So if you are in finance again, or if you are in health, you must be an expert to that, because only way for you to contribute consistently is when you are a center of authority of that subject. If not, it's very hard. But if you are not the center of authority, it doesn't mean that you cannot contribute content. You need to find other center of authority, other experts to come into your platform. That's what I do. I'm not the center of authority for some subjects, so I call other experts in and I get their advice. And people know that these are the experts of certain topics, so they want to follow, and they know that you are providing this service, you're providing this content pillar, so they want to continue getting this type of content from you. So, for example, in the matter of religion, I'm no asatiza, I'm not an ustaz, right? So, but I get other asatiza, I get other ustaz to come in and give their point of view on certain matters. So they know they can get this from my page. So same thing, if you are providing a certain service, but you may not be the one who are credible enough to talk about it, get other people. Get the bankers if you want to talk about certain things in the banking industry. They are the best people. But when you are crafting this content, you need to know that you cannot be a dry content, because sometimes conversation can be very dry, right? So you need to find ways how to make it exciting,
Wow.
Okay.
So those are some of the first few things that you need to do.
Okay.
And then always check on how audience are engaging you. So that part you need to go to behind the scene, your dashboard, find out the stats, where do they engage you, what time they're engaging you, and exactly which content that they are responding to you. And build on that. Sometimes we love making one content, but this content tak ada orang layan. Nobody wants this
Syok
content.
sendiri.
Syok sendiri. Please tell yourself, be ruthless to yourself, take out that content. You jangan syok sendiri, you bising-bising, no one cares, right?
Yeah.
So be truthful to yourself. Okay, no one wants to hear this lah. So leave that content. Do something else, try out. When sometimes you tak sangka, this content orang nak lah. They want this content. Okay, build on that content. Build it until such time that you know that, okay, this thing when I put, everybody will grab it.
Yeah.
Like the cooking lah. I didn't know cooking. My brother was the one who encouraged me. The first time I was doing, I didn't know that cooking was the thing that I need to do, because all the time, I was just getting my mom's advice on camera. We were just talking to camera just like that. My brother sent me a video. He said, "Hey, me, can you check out this video? Mom is cooking." Then I said, "Oh my God, this is so nice to look at."
Okay.
Then I said, so I called my mom, "Mak, boleh tak kita masak sama-sama?" My mom said, "Kenapa kau nak masak dengan aku pula?" Then I said, "No, I find that your cooking is very interesting, So I started doing the first one, and that just blew up. It exploded on my page. People say that we love traditional, please do more.
Right.
So I just kept doing lah.
Yeah.
So it's very important to listen and to look at the data and to give the audience what they want, basically, kan?
Yes, you give. Sometimes you have to give what they really want. Sometimes you have to give them what you want to try, and see whether they are taking it.
It's about testing as well.
Yeah, sometimes when you have already engaged your audience, right, they will tell you what they want.
Wow. Okay.
They will message you, "Sujimy, can you try this? Can you try that?"
Yeah.
So it's now a very nice relationship. Where they tell you this is what they want to know. So you are also listening to them. Do listen to your audience, because they are your best feedback group, a focus group that you can ever have.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to make an executive decision. We are at 11:54, and don't worry about it, Sujimy. It's so interesting talking to you that I haven't even gone through half my questions. I have a lot,
Okay.
How much time do you have? Sujini? When do you have to go off?
Okay, I have a meeting at about 1, which I have to go to my studio.
Okay.
Okay.
But I have time for you.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
So we're gonna go and ask more questions because
So-
you're like the godfather.
Correct, Nina. So I have a lot of questions too, but I'm just gonna pass it to you because then.
Okay. No worries. I love your questions. Okay.
Okay.
So another question is content creation. Is videos the only way, or are there other formats as well for businesses?
Okay, video is the only one I know best.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there are others. Okay, first of all, we need to understand what warms up our algorithm, right?
Okay.
Now, let's say your platform is running and all that. You need to understand that whatever you upload does not go to all your followers. It's probably about 7 to 10% of your followers get notified. Okay, that's how the platforms right now are controlling the algorithm. So, what works, right? Sometimes, if I'm launching a very big video on Friday, I need to warm up my platform. How I warm up my platform is I will put up an image of what I'm going to do, and I will put other content first because people are now engaging from Monday to Thursday. So when they engage, their algorithm will change so that when I uploaded my video finally, they are going to be notified. The people who engage me from Monday to Thursday, they are going to be notified that I uploaded something on a Friday.
I see.
So, combination of things work.
Okay.
Uploading your status, updating your status, updating it with an image content, sharing relevant and useful article works, and those are the ones that warm up your algorithm before you launch a big event or before you launch a big video at the end of the week. You need to know that it doesn't mean, okay, let's say you launch something huge and you have a big announcement to make on a Friday or on a weekend. You cannot hope that people will find that out on that weekend. No.
Right.
How
Okay.
the algorithm works is that you have to engage them way before that, days before that.
Okay.
Only then the algorithm will be advantageous for you so that more people, let's say instead usually it will be like 7 to 10%. When you warm up your algorithm, right, you can grow up to 15, 20, 30% by the time your
Video is
important
launched.
or your video launch is there. Lah. So just remember, do not hope for the best when you launch it. You have to make sure it works. And how do
Okay.
you make sure it works? Be engaging way before that video is launched.
Okay. So this is for Facebook?
This is for Facebook.
Okay.
I don't think it's the same for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But YouTube Stories is fantastic. I've been using YouTube Stories, and every time before I launch a video, because YouTube Stories stays longer on the platform, and you convert a lot of subscribers. So having stories to prep your audience for a big launch is also important.
How early do you launch YouTube stories before the video?
For YouTube, will be about 3-4 days before I launch.
Okay. So same strategy lah in a way.
Same strategy. But Facebook is longer. I would like to engage longer. For example, I'm interviewing, I'm doing a shameless plug here. I'm interviewing a rocker soon. He's from Love Hunters. Have you heard of this group?
No. Are they Singaporean?
Singaporean. So he's one of the longest surviving group, and he's coming to my studio on Monday. So, but it's a recording. But I'm going to start doing a lot of stories, a lot of posting about him, so that by the time we launch it, people will be expecting something from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's talk about platforms. So which social media platform should brands go to? Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube? And they're all different in a way, right? Same, but definitely different. So how do they know which one to go to?
Okay, so first of all, you don't have to be everywhere first, but ultimately you need to lah. Okay, but in the beginning, you need to know where your biggest audience will be. I cannot say anything about LinkedIn. I'm so not good there. I need to learn from you guys. But if you are looking at the Facebook audience, which are slightly older, right? Then you have to build it there first. I build it from Facebook first because somehow that's where I get a lot of engagement.
Okay, got it.
Move to YouTube, providing longer videos, because after a while the YouTube subscribers are telling me they want longer videos. And no kidding, no. When I upload, let's say, a 3-minute video on Facebook, they want, Sujimy, this is too short. They are telling me, can you give us a 20-minute, a 30-minute video? Because it's premeditated. They are there to watch videos. So they are very disappointed if I upload a very short video.
Macam you potong Steve.
Yeah.
So, can you share with us a little bit about the audience on Facebook and the audience on YouTube? I think not a lot of people know that. I mean, we know because we're with you, right?
Yeah. So Facebook audience, they are lean forward audience. When I mean lean forward, they are going to Facebook not because of videos only. So they are looking at their friends' feed, they are looking at things that they like to discover. So sometimes they discover you. So when it comes to Facebook, they are completely very busy people. People who just want a quick wrap of the day, quick wrap of the week, but then they discover your video, then sometimes they say, panjang ni video ni. So if they are at home, they probably can invest time in the video, right? When they're outside, they don't have time. So this is the type, I noticed this is the type, but they're very engaging. They will share, right? They will share a video. YouTube, people are more like a lean back. They invest a lot of time with you because they have a lot of video time. They have a lot of watch time with you. That's why they intentionally subscribe to you, because they want to be notified. And when they watch, they are so engaging because they spend time with you. I mean, I'm there to watch video. I'm not there to check my news feed.
I see.
Yeah. So sometimes what I do, I upload a shorter video on Facebook because it fits well with this audience. I provide a link to a longer version. Yeah. So like my travel videos, right? So sometimes I put like between 4 to 7 or 8 minutes on Facebook, but I put a half-an-hour version on YouTube.
Okay, because that's what they want, right? Because
That's
I mean, for me, my psychology when I watch YouTube is like, okay, I'm ready, I want to watch.
Yeah,
So I'm prepared for longer format.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
and they don't mind, and they don't mind that. People on YouTube, they don't mind, but Facebook, that's why the audience are different, and it's okay because that's how this platform has evolved. So we have to understand, even, I mean, for us now, I mean, if you go to YouTube, Facebook, right, you're just checking on what's happening and all that, right? You may not have the time. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, got it. So what are some things, I think you've already shared this, what are some biggest mistakes that companies do when they first start creating content?
First thing, they think they must have high production quality.
Okay, what does that mean? We know that, but yeah.
It means that they must invest in good cameras, good editing, they invest in a full production crew. I must do this entire thing and produce it like a high-end TV show or high-end documentary. Now, that's the first mistake because it's very hard to sustain. Instead, invest in a good story. Okay? No one is expecting you to have a high production quality. Okay? So people are expecting a good story. But if your production is low production quality, it's okay. Because if you are not a production company, no one is expecting you to produce, and it's hard to sustain that kind of quality, right? It is also expensive.
Okay.
So even if you produce via a phone, it's acceptable according to the kind of story. So to me, invest in a proper story. Make sure the story is engaging first, and then find ways how to produce it economically. Because that's the only way to sustain a long hall for content creation pillar, right? And then later, when you are more engaged and you are already monetizing it, then go after higher production quality. Slowly,
Right, okay.
do it very slowly.
So, which brings me to my next question. Should businesses do it in-house or outsource it?
Okay, today I would say train your people, send them for courses, do it in-house, because only when you have your own team, right, that they will be invested in the kind of stories that you will be doing. You know, you embrace the company culture already, right? You already know this is what the company require. I'm not saying that you should not engage social media companies out there. You should, if you are not sure what to do. I normally help a company for about 7 to 8 months, but I tell them that while we are helping you in creating content, we want to train your staff as well.
Okay.
So at the same time, these 7 to 8 months, you are training 2 or 3 social media executives in your team. After a while, the hand-holding must not be there.
I
They
see.
must go on their own already.
Uh-huh.
It's more beautiful when your team is the one creating content for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is a must. You
Okay.
must have a social media team that's creating content. If not, it is an expensive venture to outsource everything, right? And at the same time, when the culture of social media content creation is within your team, you have all the control. You have all the control, and your content pillars are embraced by the
Right,
team.
okay.
It's easier to generate.
It becomes part of the business, and I think the content is genuine as well. Kan?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. And you are, it's like automatic, like whenever a story breaks, right? Should we do this? The team knows, oh, this is not our content pillar. Forget about that. We are not going to
Right,
go
okay.
into that. But
Okay.
sometimes when you are doing a reactionary video, right? When something breaks, you tell the boss, we must do this story. This is our pillar. We must react to it because it helps our business too. And it helps our audience. So they understood this thing internally. You don't even have to think so much, because everybody on the same page, right? They
Right,
understood
okay.
everything. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Thank you. How do I be unique in my content and sort of set myself apart from my competitors?
Okay. One thing I always encourage people, never be a Me Too content creator.
What does
Okay,
that mean?
Me Too, don't copy lah.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
copy sebarang copy, like anyhow
I'm
you
thinking of
just.
the Me Too movement sebabnya.
No. Okay, it's okay when the platform fits. For example, TikTok, right? I have a very small TikTok account. Everybody just follow trend, right? You buat that video, I also buat lah.
That one works kan, TikTok.
That one works because it's TikTok and it's the culture of that platform. But in Facebook, when you try to follow somebody else, it may not fit who you are. And if you follow blindly, right, people may misunderstood your content pillar and they will like, are you that company? Because you guys look very similar to that company, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you are not really stand out for what you believe in.
Yeah.
People will not understand who you are. So try to explore. There are so many format. There are so many video format, right? There's self-reflection. There is what we call vox pop, where you interview people, getting testimonial and getting street interviews. There is also conversation videos. There is also social experimenting videos. So many format you can experiment, but the heart of your editorial stories must be generated from within. You cannot adopt somebody else's content pillar and hope it works for your company.
Yep.
See.
You are just adopting other people's values, which may not work sometimes may not work.
Okay.
Okay.
Nina, can I address some of the questions because I know
Yes,
we are
yes,
running out
please
of
do,
time and all
please
that. So,
Uh-huh.
so Liz actually asked this.
Liz said that question's already answered.
The answer, yeah. Okay.
What's the
So
question though? Just
the
to
question
be-
is, if I have a lot of ideas to do a video, which kind of ideas I should start it off with? Start it off first, or should I just do one of it and just test it out?
What would you say, Sujimy?
I would say start with the one that is very near to your experience. Okay, for example, if this particular content pillar and you have experienced that, you have more credibility in telling that story, and it will come out very genuine, right? When you are far away from the topic, you have no experience going through this, it will be very hard for you to firefight if your video goes viral in a wrong way.
Okay.
You know,
Got
if you normally when someone experiences something and they are sharing this experience, people can see through it, and they would love to follow you because you are sharing what you have been through, and they are learning something from you. So
Can
I
we
would go
also-
for that kind of content. Yeah.
Okay, so content that is closest to you where you've experienced it. Can we also talk about that? Because there's a lot of people who go on social media and they start faking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I find that with social media, you cannot lie. You will
You
be
can't-
called out. I call it like karma or something. Your
Betul,
ass will be.
yes.
Yeah. So, what's the best way?
Okay, first of all, you must share for maybe first-time content creators, for company or individual, you must share your personal experience first, because no one can contest what you have gone through. No one is going to say that's wrong. No, it's I went through it, so it's right for me. So share personal experience first. Share personal company journey first.
Okay.
Like I said, no one can contest you, right?
True.
No one can say that no, that's wrong, because you went through it. Pick something that resonates with yourself and your friends and your family, because they are the closest to going to give you your feedback, right? So pick something that can resonate many people. A lot of people ask me, hey, what kind of topic should I choose? You know, pick a topic that you like, that resonate with you first, because you feel for it, right?
Yes.
Then ask your friends, ask your customer, what resonate with them. And you really need to ask, because I went out asking a lot of people, like I asked my mom, right, her age group, right, what is it that you want to know? I go and ask my children. My children are my best sounding board.
Okay.
I said, what works for Twitter? They are the one, they school me for Twitter. Because the Twitter generation are very different. Right?
Yeah.
So she schooled me for Twitter. They say, Twitter like this, you know. You cannot do your content on Facebook and put it on Twitter. Will never work. I will not watch your video. Yeah, so you need to understand what resonate with people, you know, and try and follow as many people as possible, and try to follow similar people whom you think are similar like you, and see what works for them, but adapt it to don't copy, adapt it to you. We call this unicorn strategy, right? So unicorn strategy is like this. Everyone has a unicorn strategy, meaning sometimes you follow a certain person. He has this one content pillar that works so well for him. Find out what that is, and then see whether that works for you. Especially if that person is similar, that company is similar to your company.
I see.
So every company has a unicorn content, right? So find out what's yours. Find out what other company that's similar to you. Let's say you are you are in the medical scene. You see other companies doing health or wellness content. Check out what works for them. And then you see, okay, now we have a different value proposition for our audience, but this thing works for them. Okay, how can we adjust this unicorn content into ours and try it out first?
Yeah.
If it works, it means that this is an important topic that resonates with many people. It sits well in many platforms.
I see. Okay, cool.
Got one more last one. Can I okay?
Okay, I also have a question. But
Okay,
go
go ahead. You go first.
Akmal Zaman is asking, how do I start the content step? Do I do video, write, or pictures first? Which one?
Okay, they are not two of the same. So, and I'm a firm believer in videos, you need to do videos first. Because I've tried images on my Facebook lah. It doesn't work at all for me at that time. I started video first, and I started very easy. I don't even edit my videos.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
just put my phone and I talk to people, right? That's how I started. I call that kind of video self-reflection. So I reflect about my life, even though it didn't work at that time, but I was generating content. After a while, I realized, why don't I get other people to do reflection with me? Same content pillar, reflection content pillar, right? So I got other people, they reflect their life with me, and I responded to that, and people tend to like that more.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, they like it more because maybe they have heard a lot about me lah, so they want to hear about other people. So I was being very real. I would just ask them, hey, why don't we do a reflection video together? But the one that worked so well because I was doing a reflection video with my mom.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she was a credible source of information about life. She has gone through many, many years, many decades of life experience, and they want to hear from the most credible person about life lah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 80 plus, I'm just 50 plus, so they wanted to hear more from someone older. So it looks like the reflection video has levels.
Okay.
You know, so you must understand that when you are creating a video, creating content, we have to be very ruthless about how our videos are performing. You know, if our videos are not really performing, then try and change it a bit, and be honest to yourself whether or not, hey, people don't want lah, you know. So try and get somebody else, you know, change the format. Experiment the format. So if you ask me whether pictures better or video better, it's not the same media asset.
Okay.
So I cannot say that, but I would prefer, and I have experienced it myself for 5 years, video perform way better than
And
image.
also on Facebook, I understand that if your video ads are cheaper, if you're paying for video ads, and also I think they push the algorithm up higher if you're putting a video content. I think.
Yes.
I don't know. Is it?
It might be true, but I always look at it from this way. Facebook is trying to outdo YouTube. So if you upload video, they would probably recommend your video better than image. I'm not saying that image cannot go viral. It can. But videos are lighter in Facebook because they want content creators to be there. So they will push you. They will push your video further.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you had questions?
Yes, Cheryl actually asked, do you think it's important not to speak to everybody, but to speak to a specific crowd depending on your target audience?
Good question, Cheryl.
That's a very good question, Cheryl. Now, I completely believe in that. Your one content pillar need to appeal to one group of audience. That's why I have 5 content pillars. It talks to different people.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
because you cannot expect that one content type will appeal to everyone. No, because not everyone can be reached in for one video, right? So what I did was for parenting, and I'm trying to appeal to younger parents. I do videos with my kids. So those appeal to younger audience. I did videos with my mom. It appeals to the cooking audience, people who love cooking. I do videos with real people, and this goes wider. I also appeal to maybe I have a pillar that appeals to businesses because I do how-to videos with experts as well. So different content pillars have different audience, and that's how you get everyone. And when I can't reach, let's say I can't reach the entertainment group because I don't do entertainment, I set up a thematic page that appeals to entertainment audience.
I
So
see.
over there we have comedy, we have parody, you know, so I set up a different page for that because comedy, I'm not a comedian, so I cannot make people laugh, right? So I must be real to myself. That's not the content pillar that I will go for. So I set up a different page for that. And a lot of company ask me, should it be under the company name, right? Just remember, people follow people and they follow causes. They don't follow company lah. People don't follow my company page, they follow my page, right? They do follow lah. I mean, not so many following my company page, but I've ever consulted an agency, health promotion board, right? So I told them, why don't you set up a lifestyle health page for a group of people? It works so much better because audience do not find it threatening.
Right, yeah.
They don't find it preachy because this page is a lifestyle page and it talks about health in a different way where a formal company page going to talk about. Because sometimes when it's a formal company page, you restrict yourself. You cannot talk about many things too. Whereas if you convert your content into a lifestyle page that you own and manage, you have the breadth to talk about many lifestyle things that people are more interested in.
Okay.
And then how you monetize that or how you benefit from that, you bring the audience back to your company.
Okay.
Sujini, that sounds like what the future might mean, that whatever business we're in, we're a media company, whether we like it or not.
Yes, unfortunately, that is the case today. You cannot run away from content creation. If your company is one of the company that don't see that I must do content, then you are going to be left behind.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
you are going to be left behind because look at COVID, for example. Suddenly, everyone has to be digital, right?
Yes.
So if you have not created content, no one is going to know that you existed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one is going to know, right? Look at the restaurant. I met a restaurant and I won't share the name. When we approached them, we said that you need to improve your social media. They say, no, we don't need it because we are doing so well. We are doing so well. Our offline, we don't even need social media. We are doing really well. What happened was, COVID happens. They cannot operate their restaurant. They can only do takeaways. But there's no way they can tell people they are doing takeaways because they don't have a social media presence.
Yes.
So then they realize they need to improve social media first while they are doing their offline business, their traditional business. So even traditional business need this new media to supplement the outreach. Because in the attention economy, today is attention economy, you need to get the attention of people digitally first before it translates to offline, right? So, and how you engage this group is via content.
Right. Okay. So
Just a follow-up question actually to this, because Cheryl is asking again. Because she said, but if you're just starting to build your brand, would it be a good idea to reach out to many different type of content audience? Would it confuse the audience? What you really represent, your niche and etc.
good question.
Good
Bagus
question.
lagi, Cheryl.
Yeah, bagus actually.
When you're starting out, right? You need to really push what you believe in. What you believe in is also what your company believe in. Right? Push that one out first so that there's no confusion in the market.
Okay.
Once people understand what you stand for, explore a similar, you can digress a bit from one pillar to another pillar, but do not change your stance in your company fundamentals. Meaning, don't change. For example, if you are someone who's helping home-based business, do not change that just because you have a new content pillar. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about someone who is a consultant company, right? So you're a consulting company. So what do you consult? Oh, I'm consulting other companies. So I'm a business coach, right? So first, make sure people understand you are a business coach. Second, feature other successful companies. What makes them successful? And then share your anecdotes to other people. I believe in this because this. So your content pillar does not run away from your main business service, you see. So choose your content pillar correctly. Do not go straight away comedy because it's very hard to handle comedy unless you know how to thread that pillar. So do it slowly. Make sure you understand where you're going with the pillars.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, can we hear
yeah.
from the audience how they're doing?
They are-
Guys, if you have, I mean, can you let us know if you want Sujini to continue? Because we're getting to 12:30. We
Yeah, I
haven't
know.
gone into rapid fire. Let us know what you want so we can respond accordingly.
All right.
Yeah, but in while they're responding, I have a question. What are some of the biggest challenges in creating content? You mentioned one, which is being consistent, right? And if I'm a business owner, I understand that it's important to create content, but as a small business, I also need to create income now, and I'm overwhelmed. So what do I do? Because I need to make money, I need to make content, and a lot of people just push aside the content, really. How important is it? How do I prioritize?
Okay, making money is your first priority lah. Okay, you need to make money first with or without social media. Like I said, your business fundamentals must be there. However, you cannot avoid not making content, so you need to hire someone who can do for you if you're busy running the business. However, you need to be the one who advise on the content pillar, or find someone who can do that, because if you don't get the content pillar right, it may work negatively towards your business, right? So the challenges will be, other than consistency, is finding out the stories. That's why I say spend a month discussing what the content pillars are. Ask for opinions. Check out other people's content. Don't kalang kabut, don't be in a rush to straight away launch content. No. Because you launch something, you have to follow through. So really find out before I even start vlogging, right? My daughter showed me so many influencers, and I spend nights just watching their content, dissecting their videos, and then will this work? What if I do this? What if I do that? Have that social media audit, content audit for yourself first.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Simple ones, and then when you audited yourself, right, and you're being truthful to yourself, right, and then you find out from other people, hey, does this content work for your company and all that? Do that whole audit, and trust that process will really help you in generating a content calendar, and once you have this right, you yourself know that you yourself will be disciplined enough to choose the content for yourself, because you have went through that audit. And auditing is one of the best way to make yourself aware that certain things will not work for you.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions?
Just a comment from the audience. So one of these guys, I don't know who he is. He said, so if you're an employee of a company but starting off on your own in something else, then it should be based on that instead of the company you're attached to. Thank you, you're extremely insightful. He said that, right? Charlene is saying,
Godfather.
He's the godfather. Charlene is saying, I think we need to have a second session. Right?
I'm okay.
Yeah, and
Guys, I love
Charlotte
these guys from
loving
PopCon, so please call me in anytime you want, and I'll be more than happy to share.
Yeah, but I think we need to play with time, right, Nina? I think we got to wait.
Maybe okay, so if that's the case, then should we end it now with a rapid fire?
Yeah, let's do rapid fire.
Okay,
let's do that.
So let's do this. Sujimi,
How does it work?
rapid fire, I'll explain a bit. But Sujimi, let's do this. Next month, I think let's talk about, today we covered the basics. Next month, let's cover, okay, if I'm already creating content, how do I become better at it? So that's where the tools and whatnot. So it's about
that would be a very, very exciting chat.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. And which mic it is, because I'm a geek when it comes to that, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So now we're going to go into the rapid fire business question. But before that, on hindsight, if you were to do over content creation, would you do it differently? What would you advise businesses out there?
I won't do it differently. I mean, what I experienced, alhamdulillah, it worked. It worked for me. Some others must do it differently from me, but certain fundamentals of content creation works everywhere. I notice it works everywhere, meaning what resonates with people, choose the topic correctly, do what you believe in, be consistent. Those things works everywhere lah. I mean, you have to make some adjustment for some platform, but generally, I won't do it differently.
Okay, got it. Now, we're going to go into the rapid fire. So basically, I'm going to ask you a series of questions and you just answer. Don't think too much, okay?
Yeah, that's the
Are you
idea.
ready?
Is it yes or no, or
It's
what?
it's
You
whatever that
actually
comes out.
answer
You
it.
don't overanalyze it. Just
Yeah.
first
You
instinct.
don't
What?
think.
This is dangerous.
Oh, of course. That's why we have it. So I'll let you know lah. We want to edit it so that we can put it into shorter formats elsewhere.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so what do you know about being a content creator that businesses out there still don't get? Does it really help, and what sort of impact can it do to a business?
Okay, you must understand that every video duration has meaning. Okay, if
Wow.
you're producing 1 minute, it has to be an evidence-based video. If you produce 3-minute video, it has to be a structure-based video. If you want to be viral and produce more than 3 minutes, it has to be crisis-based video.
To know that, you have to come for the next session.
Oh yeah. Next question, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, now a lot of people are probably going to say, this makes sense for Sujimy. He's got an agency, but not for my business. You know, I'm a banker, I'm a doctor. Should every business do content? Are there businesses where content creation doesn't make sense?
So far, I have not come to any industry that do not need content. Every single industry need content, whether it's a technical industry or service industry. Every single one of us require content. I believe in it so much.
Wow. Okay, so it applies to everybody.
Yes, it applies to everyone.
What
Hey, am I
if-
doing this rapid fire correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you're a business where you cannot promote your product? Like,
Lawyers, doctors.
Lawyers,
Yeah.
and all that. Then you appear on other people's platform lah. Give advice.
Brilliant.
Oh, you can also give
Yeah,
advice.
because you have to establish expertise in subject matter.
Mhm.
Like I said just now, you have to be a center of authority for it. If you cannot blatantly do it in your platform, you have to go to other people's platform and share your expertise.
Okay. Or you can share expertise on your platform because you're not selling, you're sharing expertise, right?
You can, but most of the time, if you share it, if you are in a business where you cannot overly promote yourself, you do it in your platform, people think you are soliciting.
Okay.
So it's more credible to go on somebody else's platform, especially if that platform is bigger than yours.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. What are 3 to 5 questions businesses should ask themselves before pursuing content creation?
Whoa, this is not an easy question to ask.
Sorry.
To answer. Let me think. Can you ask me again so I can kill
Okay.
time?
The same question?
Yes, same question.
Okay. What are 3 to 5 questions or 3 businesses should ask themselves before pursuing content creation?
Okay.
Noise,
First,
you can make noise.
do I know my audience?
Okay.
Do I really know what I stand for?
Mhm.
Okay. I want to make videos. You have to. This is a pledge that you must do. It's not even a question you ask yourself. You must make videos. Okay. And am I ready to audit myself, social media wise?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And consistency, right? Am I going
Consistency.
to commit to it?
Yes. Am I ready to commit to consistency?
Yes. Okay. Got it. I mean, we need to do this with our students. We forget to get them to do the pledge.
No, we actually whatever that Sujimi said was something that we enforces in the class. Remember the questions that we did? If only you go for the class only, you know. Okay.
I did. Okay. What are top 3 tips for businesses to get started on the content creation journey, Sujini?
Okay, be open to watch other people's content, and when you watch it, don't watch it with an audience eyes, but dissect the video, especially when it's viral, right? Look at the flow of the video. How did they go from here to here, and what did they do? You know, so that is very important. Be open to other people's content first, and then be open about yourself, what you are ready to talk about.
So I like that.
And talk about experience first. Talk about your experience first. No one is going to be unhappy, overly unhappy when you share your own experience, right? We love watching other people go through certain things and they have some kind of resolution in their life. I want to learn from him because maybe one day I go through what he went through.
Yeah, I like that. Just to add to that, yeah. Gary Vee actually said this, that you have to spend at least 10 hours of consuming before you actually come up with your own stuff. Yeah.
Oh, 10 hours is quite
10
short,
hours.
actually.
So consume before you produce. I like that.
Okay, okay.
You know, when I wanted to do when I wanted to do my own content, right? I watch, of course, I watched Casey Neistat. And I was looking through, because we already know how to produce, but I wanted to know how other people are producing and how other people, because producing traditional content is really different from producing social media content. Social media content, I give the best first.
Okay, yeah.
Content, they make you wait cliffhanger after cliffhanger, they give the best last.
Yeah.
That cannot work on social media. So I flipped the whole thing. So I had to watch so many first before I finally say, okay, I have to unlearn this thing and relearn how to make social media content. Yeah.
Exactly. And kudos to you, because not a lot of traditional media people actually successfully transition to social media. I absolutely believe that. And you're one of the few people to do that. Okay, so at the end of the day, should businesses become content creators? Why?
They should, because attention, we are living in an attention economy environment. Okay, the one with the correct attention given will be the one that is most visible, and the one most visible will get talked about in the right way, and that's where your outreach grows, and that's where your business grows.
Okay, and it even beats paying for ads, right, in the long term?
Yeah, I believe in organic. Of course, some of my clients, they want me to boost the videos targeting some people, right? But for my own videos, I will never put an ad to it, because I do want to see what works and what don't. So it saves me a lot of money, because the minute your videos are organic, right? I have a video that reached to 7 million people, just one video, and I did it on the phone.
Okay.
Saves us a lot of, and that video converted many followers, many followings. It saves a lot of money lah. In the long run, right? It saves. I know in the health business, right? People spend $1 million just for ad buys, because they want to generate a few million business, right? But I can tell you, a fraction of that is only needed when you are organic in videos.
Right. Okay. So it's definitely something that they should be banking in. I actually see, like, the future of business, everybody will have their own social media team and content creation team, videos and stuff. It should be in-house in every company, right?
Yeah, I agree totally. For example, if you have $100,000 or $200,000 to spend on an ad buys for one whole year, take maybe 1/3 of that and build a social media team. Instead, and you notice you don't even need 1/4 of that, because that is the one that gets people into your platform organically lah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've seen it. We have seen many companies, and we have guided many companies just to have 2%, doing their social media. One is a videographer and editor, another person writing, script writing, and that's all they need. And they have been generating their own content, and now they are on their own doing many content.
Organic.
Organic.
Okay. That should be another thing we're going to be talking about business-wise. We offer this, by the way, with Sujini. Now, if you had one last question, if you have one advice to give businesses out there with respect to content creation and running a business during these challenging times, what would it be?
Do not disregard how important content creation is. Do not say that we don't need to be on social media. We do not need it. Don't even say things like we are doing well without social media, because we have seen how crisis stop everything, and the only thing that survived this crisis are digital content, right? So I think a lot of people have seen that. It has woken up a lot of businesses on how important this is. So I would say that.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think I don't need to end because you summarized it for me.
Exactly, right? So I just want to say this again to the people in the Straits Time that says that social media and PR people are not important. Okay, sorry guys, you guys are so outdated. Okay, that's what I want to say.
Where have you been? Obviously not on social media.
Exactly. Okay.
Right. Okay. So I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. Sujimi, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, guys.
No, it's always a pleasure.
Everywhere.
No, wonderful. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insightful. Can we give him, that horn that I love?
Oh, the horn that you love? Okay.
Yes, please.
The DJ horn. Okay, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
What happened?
There you go.
Cool.
Cool. Right. So thank you so much,
I hope
Sujimi.
you guys learned a lot. I mean, I'm sure you did, and you're at least inspired with what Sujimi had to share. So we'll get him back here next month or in August. I have to check the schedule. But speaking of schedule, next week we have. Can we have the photo? I mean,
Of course,
Nikki
it's-
Chong,
Okay.
founder and producer of Ministry of Marketing Asia, Sheikh Shahnaz, experiential trainer and leadership coach, and Vyasa Kandasamy, CEO of CAT Training Center. In the house, they'll be speaking about why they started going online during COVID-19 lockdown
Exactly.
and how that has impacted their business. So you want to tune in for that. And the week after, hot speaker alert.
Hot speaker alert. Ken Okazaki, guys.
Yeah, you have his photo. We have a hot Japanese guy who's the video guy, Ken Okazaki, who'll be speaking on video marketing, of course, with the video marketing guy.
Yeah.
That's on July 2nd. So all you ladies want to tune in the house
Yeah.
during that time.
Just wanted to
But Ken,
say a little bit something
speaker is
about
hot.
Ken. Ken are the people behind Tony Robbins,
Ooh.
Peng Joon. Right? So if you take a look at Peng Joon, is creating all this video and online, all that, right? So you want to check it out. Okay.
Yeah, the guru is Ken Okazaki, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if I can focus because I'm probably going to go, so I'll have to wipe my mouth. Okay. Now, if you love this video, please give us a like. Please subscribe to the PopCon group. And of course, we're going to be sharing this on our YouTube. Please follow us on all social media. That's PopConfest, POPCONfest. I don't know if Amin's got it on.
I got it on.
If you love more updates, make sure you follow us and especially our LinkedIn group because we share a lot of stuff to educate everybody.
Right.
Now, we'll be coming out with more videos too next week, so make sure you tune in and we will see you. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank
I'm
you,
Lina
guys.
signing off.
And Amin signing off, and we'll see
And
you
you have
again.
fun.
You have been PopCon, yes. And with that, we'll see you again next week. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See
Thank
you.
you, Sujini.
PopCon.